beloved city of Columbia, I noticed that it probably didn't feel too much different here in South Carolina's capital 150 years ago when General Sherman's troops set it ablaze during their fiery trek from Atlanta. This town was strange and new to me, but so were the brave feelings of the strength I experienced. Oh, did I tell you? It was scorching. Seriously though, I joke about how hot it was that day, but my focus was cool. My focus, if touchable that day, would have had the texture and feel of a very fresh and green blade of grass with dew on it. Why do you ask, was I so determined not to lose my determination? Why didn't I worry about the fact that the halfway house that my caseworker just signed me up a couple days prior to my release didn't even have his driver there to pick me up? Why did I ignore all the old feelings and demons that were presented to me in the form of temptations? I'm not sure if you know how that bus depot operates on the first of every month, but it is a human zoo on the days that the SEDC releases maxed out inmates. There is rampant drug activity and prostitutes zeroing on newly freed long-term offenders with long-term savings to match, hoping to maybe sway an ex-con away from his original plans to become a productive citizen with offers of long past due intimacy and supposedly good times. Even a sturdy individual with tunnel vision to success can feel like he just walked into a lion's den with a rib-eye coat on when he hops off that state van and straight into the arms of the same playmates, same playgrounds, and most importantly, the same results. You see, I'm not saying that I'm better than any other ex-inmate that falls victim to this strategy. I've been there. Remember, I stated earlier that I myself am a full-time non-violent offender. Apparently, I just didn't get it the first 3 times. I'm just saying that then and most definitely now, that the armor of my faith and the desire to meet and exceed great expectations outweigh all the quick fixes to pleasure that can overwhelm even a man with the greatest of wills. With that said, I now educate you all and give a glimpse of what my latest, but definitely not last, chapter of triumph resembles. As I stand before you this evening, I'm glad to add high school graduate to the many titles that I've been called. Thank you, Mrs. Greer, and your patient staff. I can think of a lot of other worse things that I've been recognized as, but a high school grad is up there with one of the best. And Irmo High's adult education program would definitely cohorts in that endeavor. Now, the fact that I scored a very high score on the very first trial of the GED exam speaks volumes. It doesn't say that I'm smart, and it definitely doesn't say that I'm wise. Every time I view that diploma on the mantelpiece, it jumps out the frame and says, Jason, you finally did it. Now it's time to get me some company up here, maybe a PhD. Now that's some wishful yet far from impossible thinking for anyone, even a refurbished 36-year-old man that is professionally 18 years behind schedule. If anyone can be a valid candidate for It's Never Too Late campaign, it is I. Speaking of a doctorate, my significant other and life partner that has supported me wholeheartedly with the most loving push and is sitting right there in the audience, if you will, is pursuing hers. And I'm here to tell you that everyone that has earned one deserves to be called doctor at all times. Wow, that's a lot of work. But Tara, I bet you have a paper due tonight, huh, Dr. Sweetie? Other people's expectations of you are obscure. Well, as I scan this lively and celebratory ceremony and spot my fellow classmates, staff, and guests, I can see a lot of other possible outcasts and people that probably thought they would never be anything other than what their peers and naysayers expected of them. This is what brings me to the main thesis of my grateful speech. Other people's expectations of me really don't matter. Above and beyond the sky is the limit, not just the sky itself. Let's look at my college major, for example. I am currently studying human services at Midlands Tech to become a social worker. I have been told by a lot of people that this field was going to be difficult to get into because of the very same criminal past that I spoke of earlier. Now, only a few people, including myself, told me that I could do it because of my way with people and my love for people. All it would take to start my expungement process is a few heavy-duty signatures on my behalf from the same influential and polished members of society that I strive to become like one day. In a nutshell, each signature would say that I'm ready to become once again a citizen that isn't free of mistakes, but today if I follow temporary emotions and feelings that almost made me buy a cold beer on that hot day of my release, that almost made me follow that woman to the motel on that hot day of my release, or if I had bought dope from a teenager that approached me as soon as I got off that van only 35 minutes after my release. I can never answer those questions. What I do know is that GED also stands for Greater Expectations Desire. And this time around,